Fuel your body with complete multivitamin, the perfect balance of essential nutrients for daily health and wellness. Carefully formulated from natural ingredients, our multivitamin packs vitamins A, C, D, E, plus key minerals like zinc and magnesium to support your immune system and boost energy. Just 1 tablet a day is all you need. Take it with water and feel the difference as prescribed by your healthcare provider. Stay active, stay strong, stay ready with Complete Multivitamin, your daily dose of vitality. Complete Multivitamin, simple, powerful nutrition. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition store.
The Pan-African Bliss Show with your host, none other than ladies, watoto kali mnajijua, sila mwanamke kuringa taka kuona step. Ladies, watoto kali mnajijua, kama umevaa umependeza taka kuona shape. Shoes are long hair, pretty baby face, lips kiss, red white test. Please hata pewa kiss, akikuangalia tu unaweza kutoa kadi ya bei, macho vya kusinzia zile kuibia, tutasema kala kitu alafu kimemzidia. Kama nataka kupanda visuka gajia chia, sadakasi visamba matiki ya sinzia. Kichelbe korea naze, shikiki msichana, takumwaga raze, nacheza kainama, ukuti kainuka kasimama, uofupe kinenona kama inapana. Kipochi chini kama china viatu, msala niyo kala za kipiga cha kibanto, kisema kakatiza tane tachanganya watu. She smart, she pretty and she know what she wants to. Ukikompea wewe unakuwa tofauti. Kana sauti the brown is you don't count tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, boom.
Good afternoon, family. Grand Rising. It is 2 p.m. on the dot right here in the 2x4. Hope you had a beautiful weekend. Hope you're ready for the day and the week. Hope July has been amazing to you as it comes to an end. Yes, karibuni sana. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Good afternoon, Grand Rising. Hope you had a beautiful weekend one more time. I had a fantastic one. I can't complain. Chilling with my friends as usual, hosting, cooking what I do, love doing the most literally, and of course trying new recipes every single weekend. That is literally what I've been into mostly of my weekends. But karibuni sana, travel live with me on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, on the radio, Spreaker, Spotify, those who shall be listening to this later. I hope you guys get to enjoy, and of course hit that like button, subscribe if it is your first time, and welcome to the media of the 21st century, Black Hot Fire Network. My name is Joby, and this is the Pan-African Bliss Show. Today we shall be talking about, of course, the weekend recap politically, what has been happening, coming from Kenya, coming from Benin. We shall be talking about Nigeria, shall be talking about also what is happening in DRC Congo, where so many people have lost their lives during this particular weekend. But majorly, we shall be focusing on the new male contraceptive that has brought a new conversation in Africa. And this is something that is very alarming. The contraceptive is called Adam. And of course, men are talking about this. Actually, people are very, very excited about this. Even women are saying that this is something super amazing. It's sad that we don't see what this agenda is being focused and shifted to, because starting with women, this is what they have been doing, and we've seen most of the contraceptives have actually led to a very bad situation of women not being able to conceive anymore because of relying on these contraceptives. It's not like we don't have traditional ones, but the knowledge has been completely lost and ignored as well. But we've seen women getting effects of this as well, and we've seen also how it is a certain sort of control on the birth rate, literally, because back then, looking at before our lands were taken away, we had cattle when we could literally rely on the true wealth and resources. We had no problem of having even as 10 children, even 15 children. So you find literally there's still families in different countries of Africa where there's a family that consists of 20 plus children, and grandchildren are also super, super many, because they never had a problem of taking care of them or generational wealth. But it has become a problem, and a problem of control, and it has gotten to our men, and they're excited about it. So that is what we shall be focusing on as our conversation for the day. But before we get started, I'd love to remind you to download our app on the Google Play Store, where you can get yourself some amazing organic supplements like the multivitamin, which we just shared. We have CMOS, we have Moringa Pure, we have turmeric gummy bears, and much more also on the apparel store. Get yourself some hoodies, beanies with our logo. For now, get yourself some brain and focus. And before we come back, we got Mr. Black on Fire in the building as well. Karibu sana Kit.
Asante Sana, everybody. Good morning. Hopefully, everybody had a decent and thriving weekend, safe, happy. You
What do
know,
you mean decent?
huh?
What do
Say
you mean
what?
decent? What do you mean decent? Decent? Are we? I don't know. Yeah, maybe
A
decent.
decent, a good. Decent means good. A decent, not not the way you think and get your mind out the gutter.
I mean, you get yourself some brain and focus. We'll be
Unlock
coming
your
back
full
right after this.
potential with Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just one capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and Focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
And much more of these amazing organic supplements. Just ensure you have the app from the Google Play Store. If you are an Android device user, Black Hot Fire Network is the name with no space. Black Hot Fire Network. I'm spelling it. And of course, if you are an Apple user, you can also click or rather join us through the website's link. That is the www.blackhotfirenetwork.com, and enjoy our amazing organic supplements. In case you have any questions before or after, if you, in case you're facing any issues with the purchase, also communicate to us on the chat page, just there under the page friend sports page, right there on the right down below. You'll see an active a circle chat, and of course you can keep us communicated or rather chat with us, of course, and let us know what's up. But karibuni sana, before we as we get started with today's conversation, we shall be starting with what is happening in Kenya. In Kenya, it's man, if we're not headed towards revolution, I'm not sure where our country is headed towards. If we're not fighting tribalism, I'm not sure where our country is headed towards. There's a lot of things that have been happening in Kenya recently, especially, of course, since the demonstrations last year. There's been demonstrations On and on. Kenyans are demanding justice on every corner, every circle, every sector, on everything. They're calling out corruption, they're calling out nepotism, they're calling out the bad governance, and we still see nothing being changed. Instead, interior cabinet secretaries being changed, new positions being given. Apparently, news and information about our new commissioner of the IEBC is actually a cousin, because this is leaked information where someone was saying that this is all about nepotism in this governance, where they choose people who they know they'll do everything in their favor. The new current IEBC commissioner chairman, literally the chairman right now, is a cousin on one of the top leaders in the country. So how are we sure our elections won't get rigged? That is what is actually been bringing heated conversations currently right now. Now, what is happening with
The elections already rigged. It always have been rigged.
exactly that? But of course, that is the questions right now that are on air, because people are finally connecting the dots. Finally, we're living in a generation where people towards election are trying to have a debate, because we've been moving ignorantly where it's election time. Let's go to the board. These people come here during their political rallies. They give us money. They talk to you, giving you hopes. But at the end of the day, we've seen the previous generations not being able to question towards election. Who is this commissioner, this new chairperson you've put here? How can we trust them? But right now, people are going into diggings and finding out this is all a connection of nepotism, and which raises questions, of course, about the coming elections. Talking about the coming elections, of course, we've been seeing also the focus of most of these opposition leaders, or the presidential candidates, to be like Rigathi Gachagua, who, according to our law and constituency, once impeached, you can't vie for a presidential seat. I don't know for how long, but is not eligible for a presidential
Prime
seat.
Minister forever. Prime Minister forever. Not supposed to
But
be the
but Trump came back in. So how, if it's a law, it's supposed to be. I
Trump never
think
had. Trump was never. You talking about Trump was never convicted. He never got. They tried to impeach him. He never got impeached, Joe.
oh
They tried to impeach him. He never
oh
got impeached. Did the Shaggle get impeached? If he got impeached, he's
yeah,
supposed to be barred from. Okay, if he got impeached, then he's supposed to never be able to be barred from any office at all. If
but
Trump got impeached, they tried to impeach him, Joe, but he never got impeached. So,
oh, okay. I think that's the misinformation I have of history there then, because I remember
yeah,
I was picking up a lot at that time. I was in high school, and I remember it was the impeachment was being pushed. That's why I left it at.
it
So
was. It
I
was.
know.
It was being pushed. They tried to impeach him, but they didn't get his ass.
Mm. So,
That's
so
why he
yes,
stayed in office.
yeah, so according to our constitution, of course, he's not supposed to be vying for a presidential seat, but apparently he is. But one problem we have with Rigathi Gachagua, apart from being impeached and him trying to expose the current corruption and how things have been running even in this regime, which we appreciate, because he told us last week of how the leaders like to, actually most of the African leaders, how they like to citizens that they're launching certain projects. They bring some few people paid, they start act like they're starting this project, take a few pictures for the media, and that project is neglected that way. It's never going to happen. The money is pocketed. People are
Of
paid
course.
with chains and breadcrumbs to actually just be on the app, you know, acting like this is actually happening. So he's been exposing a lot about the current regime and what has been happening, talking about also right now why free education is being gotten rid of is because the revenue collected, I think he was talking about the revenue of the tax collected when it comes to schools, it is all withdrawn and goes to the president's account. So there's no circulation of
It's all stolen. He just
exactly.
telling. He tells so what he's doing. He's just telling the truth because he feels
Mhm.
that they got ready. He's just telling the truth that you should already know. All your
Yep.
money's being stolen. Money
Yep.
that's not been taken by the white power structure. The other money is being stolen by the corrupt kleptocrats or your corrupt politicians because they don't care because they know that you guys have not. Most Africans have not been smart enough, and you've allowed yourself to live in this dehumanizing poverty without doing anything. So that's become the norm in Africa.
True, true.
But
But we have the youth questioning, which is now very amazing. I just love the awakening in our people. These are Kenyans who are living in America. So of course we have this, of course, diaspora, Africa diaspora, I don't know, group of people, of course, who are trying to also get the message back at home, despite where they live. They are very much concerned about the situation of the economy, where the country is headed, because despite where you're working, you need to come back and invest back at home. I believe these are people who have this mentality, because sadly, most of the Africans have been given this mentality of, again, the American dream being sold, where you want to go work there, you want to fit in the white community, not understanding life, and the dollar can actually double the life you're seeking back in the continent. Critical thinking. So these are, I believe, these are a group of people who understand, despite going in a white, super racist country, you need to still focus on the agendas happening in your country, because economically you're trying to invest back there. So is it favorable? And if it's not, you have the right to question. So listen to this lady. She's talking about tribalism, which we've seen in Rigathi Gachagua a lot. Personally, I think I spotted this long time ago. The moment I saw most of his videos, everywhere he goes is tribal about the certain place. He addresses other communities while he's in a certain location, talking to them about tribalistic agendas. And I remember we've had this discussion a couple of times. I was even telling Shmani, like, Rigathi Gachagua is a tribal leader. And anyone who's not seen this, these are already, we've been put on the basket. We're back in the 2007 situation where we're going to be picking leaders because of tribes. This is what the Gen Zs, and not just the Gen Zs, putting Kenyans as a collective. If we drop the tribalism, if it is what we're trying to fight, we don't need to go back there, because the current conversations I've been seeing online on most of the YouTube videos is Kenya going to get rid of tribalism for real? Because that has been, finally people are opening their eyes. Might not be everyone, but a collective number of people are trying to understand this has been one of the biggest issues. These leaders divide us by using us against each other. And that's why we never move forward. It is us against each other, not them. It is us against each other. You end up fighting against each other. You come back, both of you don't have lands because of the same people you are fighting over. So finally, these questions are being talked about.
Movement. We are a number of us. Some of us are here, some of us are still coming, and we are Gen Zs. And Mheshimiwa, we are here to tell you the truth. Mm-hmm. And if we don't tell you the truth as Gen Zs, we are doomed to fail, and Kasongo will be back in power. And that is the truth. We have many questions, but because of time, I won't address the questions. I'll just stick to the point. You need, Mheshimiwa, to start positioning yourself as a national leader, not as a tribal leader. And I know many people won't like what I'm saying,
exactly.
But it's the truth. The first mistake that has been done in this event is speaking Kikuyu.
What they always
exactly
do. Everyone
because because that's been their upbringing, Joe, but the tribal nonsense. So the youth are finally understanding. Like I've been saying, all that shit's gotta go. You gotta speak as a nation, not as a tribe. And she's right. And so like you said, who cares if they get offended? Ma'am, you're correct. You speak as a nation, not as your goofy tribe.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Joe.
And me, I'm from Madeira, Karandi. You may take Wito. So not everyone knows Kikuyu, but I know a little bit. And unless that is addressed, then all this will be for nothing. Because the moment we position ourselves as Kikuyu, another tribe also positions themselves as a certain tribe. And before we know it, we are back to the same problem.
Exactly.
I watched.
Exactly. That is what we don't need to go back to. If we're really fighting tribalism, we need to start telling leaders, you can't come here and start talking Kikuyu. Not everyone understands Kikuyu. You're talking to Kenyans, not Kikuyus. How do you just come to a certain location and assume
exactly, Joe, because that's been the African tradition that the white man brought, all this tribal bullshit. Exactly. You're supposed to speak Swahili, the national language Swahili. That's what you should be speaking. Not Kikuyu, not Lua, not Kamba, not Kalenjin, and all this other shit. You gotta be as a national leader, not a tribe. But Africa's been ruled fighting the tribes and this tribe and my tribe and my tribe. That's why it doesn't work. And everybody, you keep getting stolen. Oh, your money gets stolen. Well,
Exactly, and they understand your desperation. Not only are they using your tribe, because this is a system set up this way to use tribe, religion,
of course,
education against you. They use
of
your tribe
course.
against you guys to make you think you're enemies of each other. They're not succeeding because this leader is doing better, for his people, and I'm going to deliver better because it's all tribe and all political based on their favor. And this is how bad it has gotten because they use tribalism and use your desperation, which they give you money, which now, according to this video, they're not even giving you money that they promise you anymore. They come, gather you as idiots, because shout out to this guy who wrote it as idiots. They gather you like idiots you are, because you're here for a tribal agenda. And of course, you're here to collect your 500 Kenyan shillings at the end of the day, right? They told you just appear because so and so is coming to your county. Just appear and you're gonna collect this amount of money. You go there, they tell you they have come with 3 million Kenyan shillings to give and supply to all of you. Everyone is gonna get a capital of something to do something at least for themselves and their family. And by the time they leave, the same amount of money is back in their pockets. And then the person who's left to supply is given only 2,000 Kenyan shillings, which is $15. You're given $15 to supply to a number of 100 people. How does that work?
Damn. $15 to get to 100 people. That's crazy.
That's what they do. They gather you like idiots. They tell you, hey, just appear. So and so is. There's always that Negro who's used to talk to the people in the community because it's the big mouth. Okay, let the big mouth supply the information. Hey, come to this location, so and so is coming. You're gonna get 500 for your appearance. Just come and don't be chaotic and listen. And of course, like idiots, you come and sit like cows and listen. They sell their political agendas, which goes on and aired on the mainstream media to showcase, hey, Kenyans are really listening. This is not all about the Gen Zs. The Gen Zs are the ones causing wars. There's some Kenyans who actually agree that this regime is working. And then after they leave, like the idiots you are,
exactly.
No money. Listen to this.
The events are attended by a sea of people, and the money collected from the top echelons in colossal sums.
Rais amenituma na shilingi milioni 3.
Oh, so he says he's been sent by the president bearing cash of 3 million Kenyan shillings. For what? Listen to the people.
But beyond this mirage lies something more sinister.
And these are all women. Now, the problem that has begun now in Kenya, they are using women for their political agendas now. Because women are easy to convince. Number one, a woman is going to be thinking about all their children. Of course, also the husband, if it's a caring wife, not someone who's all about, my husband doesn't provide and all that. Someone who's thinking about their children, the family in general, and about tomorrow. So 500 is a big amount of money, especially if you're living in the village still. It's a big amount of money, apparently. I don't know if it is, but I bet it is in some places. So they're using now women politically for their agendas, which has been working because women are easy to convince somehow.
The money collected disappears into thin air. Expectations reduced to mere pocket change that can hardly buy a soda and a
you can't even buy a soda, literally. Listen.
quarter of a loaf of bread.
Kwenda huku nikapewa 2,000 ndio hii sijui nipatie nani? Sijui nipatie nani?
This is the big mouth mother, I believe, of the community.
But this is why I'm gonna say this is why they keep Africa ignorant. This politics is based on ignorance, and that's on purpose. These Africans are so very ignorant, and that's why the world can come in and dominate them. And their politicians are. Everybody do not want Africans educated. Good.
Exactly. That is what the debate we've been having all weekend. They're snatching away education because of this, because they're trying to take us back to this system of gather idiots.
Exactly.
You know, they don't have a right to question who are you to question democracy? Democracy is what we say and what we preach, and let that be it. So this, she's saying she's been given $15. That is 2,000 Kenyan shillings. She's supposed to supply to 100 people. So she's worried because the people might think she's lying and beat her up.
How does $15 go to 100 people?
Exactly. So she's saying she's even scared because people might think she's lying and beat her up later after all these cameras go. This is what she's saying.
Kuni watu 31. Widows and the widowers.
Widows and widowers.
Sasa sijui nifanye nini.
It doesn't include men and women.
Kia nimechukua pesa yao, watakuja kwangu sijui siseme.
Exactly. They're gonna come to our place because they think she's taken the money.
Si nitawaambia nini? Nasanga. Akibwana Ruto, nilikuwekea kura. Si ungetuwekea hata.
They used to stop accepting the shit. Don't get the money to me. I'm supposed to take $15 stretch out to 100 people. You insane?
Magically make it multiply like Jesus. You pray, don't you? You make that shit make
Jesus ain't never showed up yet. So shit, I can't count on Jesus, punk ass.
You better pray.
I know, see? Yeah, I'll be praying because they be coming to beat me up. I got no money.
Exactly. She's saying they saw money full on a basket. They saw huge chunks of money. And now you're telling us that you're leaving us only $15 for
Oh my God, they're playing with their money. So they pretend like they give out a bunch of money. Yep. And then they don't even, and that's all a scam, and they don't even get a person $15. This is some sinister, evil, wicked shit.
Yes, this is what I was questioning because it has gotten to this level. We talk about just the corruption, but it's the lack of even empathy and consciousness within you. Like, it's really this deep. Because we used to see these people, yes, still, but I think it's lack of education. No one thought it is this deep. It's just, I think, yes, it's lack of education.
It is lack of education, but nobody fathom how wicked the people that are in power in Africa, people in Africa who are African, they're wicked. They're evil. The white people put a system in that's so wicked, so evil. It's evil, and it preys on your ignorance. And that's why it perpetuates your ignorance. They don't want you educated. That's dangerous. You start this is some wicked shit.
Watu 18 tulipokea 20,000. Tulipewa kama transport. Sasa tunaona kama asiwezi kutusaidia. Maana tulipotumia kama transport hiyo atungeweza kuchiniwa naye.
It may look like bad math for such huge gatherings, but here is the breakdown. 2,000.
The amount they're given, mostly we're using it for transport. So you go home, you're left with nothing because, again, you're coming from a long distance to a gathering that is probably somewhere in your town. So you have to use transport back at your home. Maybe a bike, maybe a matatu, whatever gets you in your house. So you go back home, your kids are still looking at you. Hey, daddy, where's the bread? You went to Europe was the mindset is also very bad. The kids are gonna judge you, trust me, because there's no you're gonna tell me you went to a whole Ruto or someone's gathering and you come in empty-handed. I mean, what is wrong with you? Where's the money? Where is the money? Kids don't
the money. God damn.
Shillings divided by 31 people.
That's the belief. I also had that belief, trust me. Like, I remember when I was in the village, then the cruel auntie I used to stay with, when she used to go and maybe come back empty-handed, you're gonna judge her because what the hell were you going to do there? That you're not coming back with a bag of maize. You went to you need to come back with a bag of maize or something. Why did you go there? Why did you go to waste your time?
Means that one person will get 64 shillings, and for a group of 20 people, only 100 shillings per person.
Hawa mama wangu wote ni wakongwe sana, nilikuja nao jana hapa. Mvua ilitunyeshea bwana Kindiki, hata I'm very sure uliniona nikidansi huko na Riverera. Tulidansi hapo. Sasa kazi yangu nilikuja kudansi, nikaacha watoto wangu huko. Nimelala kwa mtaro. Kazi yangu ni kudansi.
In Machakos County, women in a seedling growing group say it was like watching a magic trick. Money was collected, then abracadabra. No money for many who turned up. They were duped and handed the short end of the stick. What was promised as empowerment turned out to be a big lie.
Na sisi tulienda huko Mumbuni hatukupewa, huko Scott Theological University na hatukupewa chochote. Hizo pesa tulishangaa kwani hao waheshimiwa wanachagua wale wanapea pesa. Kuna people living with disability hawasaidiki.
Tunajiuliza tumepangwa.
Yeah, the same question. They're asking where is the money? You tell us to come here. You promised money. There's no money. We see you collecting millions of money and you tell us at the end of the day this is going to be supplied among us, we're going to be left with something, and then you live with the whole amount of money. So what is really going on? So the lies are catching up. You've been moving tribalistically, and not only tribalistically now you're now moving with a scam of money. At least back then you could give 500, but now you've gotten to the point of lying to people. This is going to create anger in majority of the people. This is not going to be nice. It's going to create anger. We're talking about 2027 election, not 2027 election, coming up election. It's going to be very chaotic. The main reason why, this is one of the cases that happened during this weekend, still in Kenya, because people are getting tired of this regime. People are getting tired of police brutality. People are getting tired of being harassed for no reason. When you put up a video on TikTok, you're getting abducted. It's crazy because today I was just cleaning some of my shoes, cleaning in my house, and then I'm thinking about, what if these people capture me one day when I'm walking? What is gonna be the reaction of people? I'm just like all fucked up in them. Then I'm like in the head, Joby, stop thinking about that. That's not gonna happen, That's not gonna happen, But I'm like, you're criticizing the government, you do a lot of deep shit, right? I was like doing some internal conversation with myself deeply about what I seriously do, because it's heavy. We talk about facts, and that is what they don't want. That is what they're silencing people off. And then talking about right now, they're asking about you attaching your social medias when you're applying for a passport. You're like, what? You're being censored, and you need to censor even your own self. You need to be very careful of everything you're talking about now. And we can't. That is what they want. That is the control. You just can't abide to the rule. You have to disobey their rule. We have to create our own, because for so long we've been following their rule. And this is what the youth are saying no to. This is what happened yesterday. I think yesterday on Saturday, literally where my father lives. Literally, I've grown up in this particular region. This is where I've gone to high school in Kiamaiko. There was a whole chaos because one of the youths, the police refused to release one of the youths. I don't know when he was arrested, probably during the demonstration, I'm not sure. But when the police refused to release one of them, they nearly tortured the police station, because that's what has been happening nowadays. They are lighting up the police stations, majority of the youth, when they're demonstrating, and they even went ahead stealing on people's residential areas and burning houses, which got very chaotic. But it just expresses the anger of where people are already tired enough. Like, it's getting super close to being tired super enough.
And 5 police officers are nursing serious injuries after violent clashes broke out between...
Currently, the war in Kenya is between the police officers and citizens. That has been like a mark now.
Kiamaiko and Kariobangi residents. It started when thugs from Kiamaiko allegedly stabbed a police officer while trying to free a suspect arrested on alleged possession of drugs. They later tried to torch Huruma police station. Blocked by police, the gang turned violent, attacking pedestrians along Outer Ring Road before storming Kariobangi, looting shops and burning homes. Furious Kariobangi residents fought back, as Willie Lusige reports.
Mayhem rocked Kiamaiko and Kariobangi.
My high school is just across the road there.
For 2 straight days, Outer Ring Road turning into a war zone of running battles, looting and arson. It began when police arrested a suspected bank peddler in Kiamaiko. A mob attacked officers, reportedly stabbing one in the struggle to free the suspect.
They were not able to rescue one of their own. They started fighting the police. That is the time we came in, we sought reinforcement, and we were able to repulse them.
They later attempted to burn down Huruma police station. When blocked, they stormed Kariobangi, looting shops, torching homes and slashing residents.
So they resorted to come and disturb Outer Ring Road. They started blocking the road, removing carpentries from the lorries, so the road was not passable.
Wakamobiliziana wakakuja Kariobangi, wametuchomea manyumba, wametuchomea biashara, wameibia watu. Sasa hizi ukiangalia Kariobangi mambo imesimama.
Kariobangi residents retaliated, accusing police of watching from the sidelines. Some even tried torching Kariobangi police station, saying they were abandoned.
The number of people is now overpowering the police, according to what you can understand here. The number of the people is completely overpowering the police. But the problem I have with the youths when they do this is looting people's shop, burning people's houses, because that was so unnecessary. Your agenda, if it was to free one person, that is all you needed to do. But only the police, not the other people who are minding their business and all that. And then growing up in this area, personally, I know how chaotic it can be. People, yes, they do stab each other super bad. That is one of the norms. There's a point where actually, personally, growing up, I was forced to buy a pocket knife because that was the thing. Like, if you're not careful, if you don't give up your phone, someone is gonna stab you, and that's just it.
Damn.
So protecting yourself, you have to also like carry a weapon. I remember I had a pocket knife. I don't know where I lost it, but it's a really dangerous area. When you talk about
okay, you make sure you didn't lose it in somebody's chest, did you?
No, there was a time I was attacked once. Some thugs were trying to steal phones from me. Apparently that day I had my dad's phone and mine. So they recognized me. So they thought, I think they thought it was someone different. So when they recognized me, they let me go. They said, "Hey, this is Moses' child. Let her go. You don't want to mess up, because my dad would want to be crazy, to dealing with the cops and all that." So this is one of the dangerous areas, and this is just bad that most of the people's lives were affected. But at the same time, it's sending a message to the president who's been questioning why Kenyans are saying he must go. Your regime is very corrupt. Your regime is not complying, not talking to the youths who are demanding answers. All you need to do is say this and this is not going to happen. But you want to start shooting and killing people, it's not going to end up well. And that is the current situation in Kenya right now. The war between the youths and the police is completely on, which is, it's been long tolerated, and I do support it personally. Which people are getting arrested for saying you're supporting that. You're supporting the police being brutalized. But as we move on, we have Benin, which has appointed the American filmmaker Spike Lee and his wife. And of course, I had to go check who is Spike Lee. And I did see some images of him and who he is. They're saying
he's a little goofy coon that made the movie. He's a little goofy coon that made the movie Jungle Fever. Then we watched Jungle Fever. He played his own movie. He was the guy that told on his friend sleeping with the white woman. Say, why are you telling me? That's him. Why are you telling me? If I can't tell my wife, who can I tell? You're not supposed to tell nobody.
I remember that. I do remember that particular.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, Benin has appointed him and his wife as ambassadors for African Americans in the U.S., and their role as thematic ambassadors aims to strengthen ties between Benin and people of African descendants, promote culture, tourism, and support initiatives reconnecting the African diaspora to their roots. The appointment was confirmed during the couple's visit to Kotuna last week, and it follows Benin's recent efforts to encourage descendants of enslaved Africans to reclaim their heritage, including a law offering nationality and citizenship application on their website. And the Tonya Lewis Lee, who previously visited Benin and applied for citizenship, reportedly received a positive response. The initiative, inspired in part by Ghana's 2019 Year of Return campaign, and was largely welcomed by locals, while many praised the move as a powerful cultural statement, and some questioned why Benin actor Dijum Hosun was not chosen in Benin's coast, and once part of the slave coast was a key hub in the transatlantic slave trade. And the government hopes this initiative will both acknowledge that history and foster global cultural connections. I don't know. Do you think this is a good move, having him as
Well, now, well, he's a coon, so it's little to nothing. He's a coon anyway, so it doesn't really like matter because he's a bootlicking coon. So
it does matter. That's why I wanted to discuss it.
it does matter. Why does it matter? Because I think there's a to me I think because Benin is corrupt. It's a money grab. It's a puppet country. So it doesn't matter to me. Hey, I would tell any moron, don't go to Benin and give them money. It's a money grab. They want African Americans to come like Ghana did, to come back and invest like people said. People came back and invest billions of dollars into Ghana, and there's no development really there. So it's a money grab. Especially these Ghana's a little more freer than Benin. Benin's a complete puppet state. So why would I go visit? I wouldn't put any money in no damn Benin for what?
Okay. If you're talking about corruption, then that is of course something that has to be dealt with. So if you're talking about if dealt with, hypothetically, if dealt with, if there's no corruption,
have you overthrew the government and it was worth be bringing money building it, then I'd do it. But no, I would never tell nobody to go to no damn Benin for what? To give money to them. To do what? Why am I bringing money back to them? And like I said, shout out that lady who put the thing on put her DNA test on TikTok. I loved it because she said exactly what I was saying. It showed that her DNA, because we all as Africans in America we merged. It showed her DNA was from Mali. Her DNA was from Burkina Faso. It showed Angola. It showed Congo. It showed Nigeria. It showed Cameroon. It showed Nigeria, Cameroon, Mali, Congo, Benin, and Togo. So we're part of all these countries, right? Because as Africans got to America, we mixed with all these different tribes. And also showed, they always make it like it's a show Kenya. Kenya and Tanzania had slavery. The Portuguese took slaves out of it. That's why a lot of you guys got Kenyan DNA too. Anyway, so if you want to go back to Benin, I say visit. I don't believe you should get no money. I think until the country gets. They're talking about go back and invest. Invest in what? Invest in this corruption. I'm gonna lose all my money. Like I'm gonna buy houses and buy businesses, and it's gonna be shut down because some dictator gets a wild hair up his ass. No, I'm not doing that.
Well,
I'm not doing that.
Now you have educated a couple of people because we have to agree. We've been sharing much of these videos of where we have such coons, like you call them, who are going to influence other African Americans who have zero knowledge of this country.
Exactly. Of course.
Figure and information, and they're going to follow because he's an influencer.
They will. Of course. Of course they're going to follow. Yeah, he's an influence. Exactly. He's a big director. Of course. Well, and I always say if you're stupid, stupid people lose money. So, hey, I can't stop. That's why they put him out there. He's Spike Lee. He's a major movie maker, Joby. Spike says, come home to Benin. Benin ain't never been my damn home.
With the information you put out there, you've informed a lot of people, those who are going to bump into this, not to invest in there because the country is corrupt. And I do believe, actually, also personally looking at it in future terms, if not dealing with a corrupt country like Burkina Faso and all that, you need to not look at these coons like Akon. You see, most of the countries are accepting actors, Idris Elba, and all these people are coming to make empty promises to Africans and not delivering a goddamn thing. Because just recently we've seen Akon's futuristic $6 billion.
It got shut down. Good. Yeah, because Akon's a moron.
It's something we need to check on. You can't just be taking people and not doing also.
But no one trusted no Akon. Like Spike Lee is more dangerous. Spike Lee's more well known than an Akon. So Spike Lee's a little more successful than an Akon. Nobody in America was gonna follow no goofy Akon nowhere. That's why the thing didn't work. It was a scam. He's trying to make money. But nobody gonna follow no Akon with his bad singing, his goofy songs to no synagogue. They said, nah, we're good. You and your coins and all your crazy. Nah. Nobody going none of that shit.
That's why Senegal tried and dared to give him that chance, because if they didn't believe in him, You know, they wouldn't have tried to dare give him the chance.
Senegal believed in him that he had real influence in America, and he didn't. Yeah, they don't know. They thought because he had a couple goopy songs. Listen, Senegalese, if some moron comes to make a couple goopy songs that nobody really likes, it's not going to bring black Americans over there with money to invest in your country because you got a couple songs. Like, nah, get out of here. So, but Spike Lee, who's loved, okay, that might bring a little more money. Well, he'll bring more money than Akon would. Really, of course, because he little, like Joe said, he's more influenceable. So yeah, that's true. I agree with that. But that's why black Americans, do your research before you go jumping out the window. What floor am I on? If you're on the top floor, if you're on a 39-story skyscraper, you're on the 39th floor, don't jump out the window because it might kill you. Like if you're on the first floor, if you're on the 39th floor, Joe, don't jump out the window. You're not going to survive. But if you're on the first floor, hey, you can jump out the window. It ain't going to do you no harm. So like I'm saying, do your research first if you want to go with Spike Lee to Benin. Now, I'm not saying Benin is bad. It's not. A lot of black people go back over. You go visit, yeah. But as far as investing your money, nah, I wouldn't do that. That's a not. If you're going to invest, I tell everybody go to Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger right now. That's where I would tell you to go. I know you don't know French. Hey, that's where I would tell you to go. Go learn French, or they got English speakers over there. Not as many, but I would say that's the best place to send your money if you want to make a difference. You feel like your money not going to be stolen, and there's a hope for the future. I tell you to go find an investment. As Ibn Torre is telling you, come back, invest here. I think you actually get real investment at a higher state. Benin, no. There are people out in the streets in Benin right now trying to overthrow the country because it's corrupt, right? You had the same president, Joe Biden. He's the same president Benin, been there for 30, 40 years. Some shit. Same old Museveni shit. I wouldn't put no money in Uganda. Hey, can you come invest in Uganda? No, I'm not. Nah, I'm good.
You did, though.
Sure.
You did.
I did. And look what happened.
Oh my goodness. But as we continue, we have, of course, the new male contraceptive, which is shaking, of course, this conversation in Africa. They're talking about where, let me get to read the article, that the experts are optimistic about a new male contraceptive, especially in Africa, where family planning remains largely.
It's all in Africa, all these countries. I'm not taking shit. If you Africans don't understand, they keep bringing you contraceptive. And if you don't understand what this is about, I'm on YouTube. If you understand what this is about, you are a moron. By now, if you don't understand, people keep bringing you stuff that's not created by you, for you, you are a moron. I'm making sure that clear you understand it. If you're taking anything coming from other people that's not made by you, for you, you are a moron. Okay? No one has good intentions for anything concerning African people globally. You don't understand that by now. Shout out to a lot of Africans that finally get it. You started, but you get it finally. Yeah. Anything coming to you, oh, we got a new pill for Africans to take. Take African. No, you ain't got no new pill for me.
Mm-hmm. So they're saying that the experts are optimistic about the new male contraceptive, especially in Africa, where family planning remains largely centered on women. The innovation called Adam is a water-soluble hydrogen injection effective for up to 2 years. Developed
injection. Okay. Mm-hmm. Hey, morons, good luck to you.
Developed by the U.S.-based biotech company.
Developed by the U.S. company. Who controls all the biotech industry? Could those be the cats? I'm sure they are. I'm sure the cats control and own it. Moron. Go ahead.
Is being held as a reversible alternative to condoms and vasectomy, which are currently or the only mainstream methods available to men. Analysis believe contraceptives used among men in Uganda, for instance, remains low, and vasectomy is often misunderstood, saying such development could be a major shift. And quoting what they're saying, a male contraceptive that is effective and reversible could finally bring men into the conversation more actively. So I want to share a quick video of how women are reacting and the men as well.
A non-hormonal male contraceptive called Adam that has been developed by Contraline has successfully blocked sperm release for at least 2 years in phase 1 human trials. Now, it's made of a dissolvable hydrogel and is injected into the sperm duct to prevent sperm from mixing with semen. Now, 2 participants have reached the 24-month mark and no serious side effects have been reported. Now, the implant is designed to degrade naturally over time, restoring fertility while offering a reversible alternative to physical protection as well as a vasectomy. Now, while reversibility data is still pending, researchers call this proof of concept and see Adam as the potential IUD for men. I don't know about you, but I think this is brilliant. Wow.
Because you're a fucking moron. That's why you think it's brilliant, because you're a fucking moron. That's why you think it's brilliant.
It's being developed by a company called Contraline and basically acts like a cork. It is made out of a hydrogel that they inject into the vas deferens, that is the transport tube, the subway system for all those tadpoles. So you block that up and they cannot go out and cause trouble. This is minimally invasive, and even done with anesthetics. You're going to be
they're all good. This is minimally invasive. This is blah blah. See, they control all the media. They control all the advertising. It's minimally this, it's minimally that. You are a moron if you listen to any of these idiots. You are a moron.
Frankly, that is what is happening, because so many have seen reactions, videos on Instagram. People are so excited. I went to the comment section on that conversation. People are so excited. Most of the men are focusing on. But I was reading some of the comments. Someone is like, "You can't put no child support on me. That's not my baby. I'm on appeal. You know, I'm on appeal. You can't claim that is my baby as well."
You ain't got to worry about no child support, because you ain't gonna have no babies. That ever. That's what this about. That's what this about, moron. That's what this, because they gonna tell you in 3 years, oh, you know, we didn't know it was gonna cause sterilization to people for life. They gonna tell you they didn't know that. They're gonna tell you, morons. They had no idea that you were gonna be sterile for life, and it was gonna cause all kinds of side effects. Now you got penis cancer, and it goes to your butthole. Now you got cancer in the butthole. Oh, they didn't tell me none of this. That's right, moron. Every time they come out with something good, put it aside. See, you're going against the nature of God. You never understood this. What side effects are you going against natural occurring experience? Because there are natural remedies to stop spermicide that God already gave you. So you're going against creation. Every time you go against creation, the side effect is always death. Always. So, hey, and everybody knows that. Anybody studying any kind of science, they know that. When you tamper with the workings of God, the by creation is always something much nastier than what they're trying to supposedly create. Oh, a contraceptive. So when you go against God and the natural scheme of things, see, everything for them, it's always unnatural. You go against the natural scheme of things, there's always a cost. There's always a cost. Always. Always. Because what you're doing is unnatural. Like, yeah, just gonna do some unnatural shit. Yay! I get to shoot a needle in my penis. Yeah! Next you know, your whole fucking foot then fell off. Oh, my foot gone, nigga.
As we wind up, we come to the end of our conversation. And the last conversation of the day is about the dozens of people who have been killed in the attack on a church in Eastern DRC, Congo, this particular Sunday. And this is what
The
happened.
Catholic Church in the town of Komanda in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo's Ituri province, shattered on Sunday by an attack that is believed to have been carried out by Islamic State-backed rebels. Dozens of people were killed when suspected members of the Allied Democratic Forces armed with machetes and guns entered the church.
Now, where do all these Islamic people come from now in the Congo? Now they got Islamic people in the Congo.
Magic.
The nation. Where all these Islamic people come from now again? Magic again. Just like Mozambique. The Islamic. That was Islamic terrorists. Islamic terrorists.
Houses and shops were also burned down, and with many people missing, the search for bodies continues.
This is so sad because this is what they've been doing for decades of keeping Congolese
Of course.
people, of the Africans in trauma, of not being able
Exactly.
to survive in one place, but always worried about how they're going to survive, running away from one place to another because they know they're going to be attacked. It's literally a
Exactly.
trauma.
So what's the purpose? What's the purpose of them? Like Joe said, violating the church, going to kill innocent people in the church. What is the purpose? To cause destabilization and fear, get you out of there, so I can start mining whatever around there. Because why are you going to just go kill innocent people because they're different religion? I'm Islamic terrorist. I'm Islamic terrorist.
It's
Versus get you. It's not no Islamic terrorist. That's fake.
It's nothing to do with religion, like what they did.
Sure ain't.
The Boko Haram crisis, saying this is
Sure
about
not.
religion. It's all about
Nope.
resources. It's all about
Yep.
control, and sadly, it's trauma again being passed. It's like they don't want Africans to escape the trauma. They want to keep on passing it from
Of course.
they can, because this is just nothing but generation trauma. Me growing up
Yeah.
in a country of war, probably
Exactly. You can't develop, Joby. Your country can never develop, which they don't want. You got all the resources. The country can never develop when you're always at war. You're always on the run. You're never safe. You never. And that's why it's always happening in the Congo. Congo's the richest place on the planet. They don't want it developed. They want it always on edge, always messed up, so they keep extracting the wealth out of the country.
Exactly, which is super, super unfair, and of course they don't care. But shout out to Drama Mosquito in the building. He says, hope you had a beautiful weekend, Drama Mosquito. He says Benin also gave citizenship to singer Sierra. I think Sierra, you mean? I didn't know about that. But I also see Sinova in the building, Karibu Sana. She was in denial of Spike's not being a bootlick. And I also see...
Who's in denial? Who's in denial? Spike Lee not being a bootleg. Who's that?
Sister Sinovia.
Oh, you was in denial. You know, Spike Lee was always a bootlicking handkerchief head Negro. Wow.
I think that's what she was denying. Let me confirm. But I also see Drama Mosquito says Akon said there was Akon said they were threatening his wife. Okay, and I also see
Who was threatening his wife? Who was threatening his wife?
Maybe Senegal. I don't know. Sinovia says we don't know Spike Lee's reason for taking the job, and Samuel says Karibu Sana Samuel. Hope you beautiful can says wasn't
Money.
One of the main.
I'm sure they give him Spike Lee kickback. He's not doing it for free, so he's bringing tourism dollars. Same way they were trying to use Naomi Campbell to bring money to her wicked ass to bring money to Kenya. Oh, look at me now. My Jamaican ass is now living in Kenya. Look at me, I'm Naomi Campbell, living in Kenya. Look at the house I built in Kenya. Remember that Naomi Campbell representing Kenya? Because she's a known model. You know, she's from Jamaica. She's African, so she was representing Kenya. She wasn't doing it for free. Then Kenya had to stop because she's asking for too much money. Her prices were crazy. The Kenyans called her out. She was asking for crazy money just to represent the country. I'm Naomi Campbell, living in Kenya. It was costing. I forgot what Kenya said they were paying that crazy broad. Hey, Joe, before we leave, do this. I know you're about to wrap up. Go to YouTube and go to YouTube real quick, Joby. Take a minute. Go to YouTube and say, Naomi Campbell, Naomi Campbell's, Hey, what's what I'm looking for? I'm gonna pray for Naomi Campbell's video talking about Kenya. What do you call promotion of Kenya? Or just say Naomi Campbell promotes Kenya vacation. A vacation in Kenya. This broad again, like this broad is crazy. She asked for all this kind of movie. We gotta get rid of this broad. This broad's crazy. She wasn't doing it for free. Like Spike Lee's not doing it for free. I mean,
Naomi Campbell, and welcome to my home.
My home. Now, Kenya. How many times you seen Kenya now that she's not getting paid? I don't ever see her ass in Kenya no more. Look at my home in Kenya.
We are in Malindi, Kenya. I came to Malindi in 1994 for the very first time, and then fell in love with Malindi in 1999. Everything is under a Makuti roof, so everything is open.
So we know it's a lie. The government gave her that house. That's a lie. Then they got rid of her ass because she kept asking for too much money. Go ahead, Joe.
And so what we do here is mostly we gather here before dinner, and we just talk. And we also gather here after dinner. Most of the furniture is workmanship that's been done here in Kenya.
And you can tell this is fake because it looks like nobody even lived there. You know it's all fake. You to the house and ain't been lived in. and since they got rid of her ass, when she keep talking about Kenya, no more. Go ahead, Joe.
This is a chandelier that we got in 2000. It has that Moroccan Egyptian vibe. And we have to give props to the two ladies, which is Carol Beckwith and Angela Fisher.
Please get out of here, okay? Get out of here. Other programs coming up.
You guys remember? You remember? Go ahead, Joby.
There's a time I shared I don't know what you were talking about, but there's a time I shared that specific video. I'm not sure.
You did share it. You were sharing because they copped her as a Kenyan ambassador, and then all that shit came about her being a child trafficker. She's all evil and wicked. I knew she was evil and wicked. And then she's asking all this money from Kenya. The lady, we can't get this kind of money. You ain't nobody. You ain't no famous person no more. What are you talking about? You washed up. You can't get this kind of money. And they're right. Naomi Campbell ain't been famous since 25 years ago. Get your ass out of here.
As I wind up, I'm not in denial. Spike Lee has been fighting against Hollywood since the 80s. So sad, maybe we don't have that information.
Spike Lee is a boot-licking, butt-dancing coon. He been fighting with nobody. He been fighting because the Jays didn't want to give him certain movies. Yeah, that's his own interest. Okay, cool. That's true. But he ain't been fighting for nobody. Anything black, he goes away from. That's why he was in there talking about Hillary Clinton. Black people need to support the Democratic Party no matter what. He's a bootlicking coon. He's a tool. I don't think he's a righteous freedom fighter because he's fighting for movies for him. That's his money. He's not fighting for you. That's his money. He said, I need to give me more money to make my movies.
Much love, family. Have yourself some beautiful.
He's not fighting for you, Zenobia. Shit.
Guys, later on the rest of the show.
Why we go after Obama? He said, don't go after Obama. Obama's a good man. Don't go after Obama. Obama's a product of the system. All kind of bootlicking, handkerchief head, Negro babble he be talking. He's a bootlicking coon. That's what, whether you like it or not. I wish he wasn't. He made Malcolm X. He made one of my favorite movies, Malcolm X. But he's still a bootlicking, dirty, no good coon.
I'm gonna mute you. I'm gonna mute you. Beautiful day. Come back and join in whatever next week. what's popping on our show. We have the Rethink Scoop show, and of course we have Kamlesh later on with sports. Remember, Kamlesh is always on the Rumble and B-Tune. So if you guys want to tune in,
I missed. They did a Vibe show. I missed him on the Vibe show. He missed. I think I booked him.
Yes, they did. Yes.
I missed it because he be jamming. I missed him on the Vibe show this morning.
He's always having fun here by himself. It's
Yeah.
Energy. I can have that crazy energy. I have crazy energy, but not like Kamlesh. Kamlesh has crazy energy. But much love, family. Have yourselves a
I'm going to mute you, Joe, but you keep talking about Cam. I'm going to mute your ass. Time to go.